All right, I also want to take this time to introduce our outreach and orientation coordinators. Heidi Edwards and Roberto Suarez are here from Rock Creek campus and Cascade campus, so please come on up to the stage. I know you have some information you'd like to share.
So apparently we have no internet, so Heidi is going to type some information up on the screen while I entertain you with a tap number. I'm kidding. So my name is Roberto Suarez, and my counterpart, Heidi Edwards, we both work as outreach and orientation coordinators for PCC. And what that means is that we're the primary contact for high school students interested in coming to PCC. When I meet a student, I tell them you have no excuse anymore when you say, I didn't know who to go to learn how to get started at PCC. Because the moment they see my face, they know me, and they know this is my contact information, this is how you can get a hold of me. And now you guys don't have the excuse to tell me I didn't know who to send my students to, because you can send any student with any question whatsoever about getting started with us to either Heidi, myself, or our counterparts at the Southeast campus and the Sylvania campus, Luis Rodriguez at Southeast and Teresa Salinas at Sylvania. They are not able to be here today because guess what? They're talking to students today. That's what they're doing. They're out and about in their respective districts talking to different student groups, so they're not able to be here today, but we are representing our team. So we're a team of 4. We represent the entire district. We are not campus, even though we are at specific campuses, our offices are campus-based, we are a district-wide team. So we collaborate across the district in helping with any type of outreach to the high school community. So we wanted to point out a couple of websites, which we cannot show you here today, but we'll give you the URLs. And if you happen to have an electronic device with you that connects to the internet through your phone service, you might be able to pull them up on your device. The first website is pcc.edu, which you're probably already familiar with, but you're going to add a / at the end of that and write Think PCC First, which you may have seen in some of our marketing materials on the side of buses and on bus stops around town. So that website is a landing page that we have created specifically for those students who are like, I don't know how to get started. Sometimes going to the main PCC website can be a bit overwhelming. You see all of these different links and different areas that it's talking about, and you don't know where to get started. So the Think PCC First page that we implemented this last year, again, pcc.edu /Think PCC First, it's just the basics for those students who are wanting to get the first steps on how to get started at PCC. It includes an overview of what we call kind of our 3 core areas, that PCC is a place where you can begin a 4-year degree, where you can prepare for a career or technical area, or where you can explore your possibilities, your options as a new student seeking out what your next step is going to be beyond high school. And most importantly, our contact information is also there on the site, as well as a couple of other extra resources. But it really narrows down and distills all of the information that can be a bit overwhelming. Oh, you were able to pull it up. Excellent. So here it is. So this is the Think PCC First webpage. And so it breaks down the 3 core areas that we have identified: beginning your degree, starting your career if you're interested in a career technical program, and exploring your options if you're a student who is still undecided, which happens to be our #1 major at PCC, is undecided. I don't know what I want to do. I know that I want to get a college education, but I don't know which direction I want to go. We also have down here the direct links to the application online. It has access to the new student checklist, which currently the iteration of the new student checklist is an older version of it. We are in the process of launching a new and updated version of the checklist that further simplifies the process. And that's, do we know when that's scheduled to be launched, Heidi? By Monday. So come Monday, this student checklist page is going to be a lot simpler, a lot easier to understand. It's going to be much more streamlined. And then, of course, our contact information information. So if a student needs to access any of us, and they, depending on the campus that is most convenient for them, they can just click on our name, and it'll take them to our email information and our telephone. Like I said, we are the primary contact for any new student wanting to get started at PCC. With dual credit students, we can help them with the process of figuring out things like, do I need to take the placement test? A lot of students have already taken dual credit courses that meet the requirements for placement. They can check with us and see if they don't even have to do that part, so that they can get started with whatever the next level of class is. We can help with financial aid questions. We can help with scholarship application questions. Anything at all that the student is looking for, we can either answer the question or direct them to the resource that will help them do that. So no excuses. Heidi and I both have new business cards that are going to say, go-to guy and go-to girl. So we are the go-to people when it comes to sending your students and getting started. And now I'm going to get Heidi the microphone. She's going to tell you about some upcoming events that we have.
And if I may say, Roberto has the most school spirit. He even has turquoise shoelaces. He's the go-to guy with turquoise shoelaces. A couple of things that we have coming up. Some of you are familiar with our preview days. Preview days are an opportunity for high school or prospective students to come onto campus for a half-day opportunity to learn about our different degree options, certificate programs, student resources, and we serve lunch. We would love for you and your students to come to campus, and we can reimburse one bus per high school. So if you coordinate with your high school counselor, oftentimes high school counselors will bring groups of students up, but if you want to bring your class up as well, we would love, or classes, we would love to have you on campus. From the Think PCC First website, where we just were, there is a link for the preview days. It's pcc.edu/preview. It'll have the dates listed. Roberto's hosting the Cascade Campus Preview Day on November 20th, so it's coming up really soon. And we know that bus transportation takes a little bit of time to coordinate at the schools, so mark that on your calendars, November 20th, and he would be the point of contact if you have any questions about that. But we do have online registration for students and for teachers or counselors as well. The second one will be held at Rock Creek, my campus. Even though you might not be in Washington County or Beaverton or sort of on that side of the Portland metro area, we encourage students from all schools to come to any one of these campus events. So Rock Creek will be on January 22nd, Southeast Campus March 12th, and then Sylvania will be the last one here on April 1st. And you're more than welcome to attend more than one event, because each of our campuses has a little different twist when it comes to our CTE programs as well.
Is it February 12th or March 12th for Southeast?
February 12th.
February 12th,
Sorry.
okay.
Maybe I misspoke. So we look forward to having you, and if you have questions, you want us to come into your classrooms, you want us to come to your high school campus, that's what we do. We're happy to meet with students and talk about whatever you want us to talk about, getting started at PCC or the specific career and degree options that we have here at the college.
Financial aid nights also.
Oh,
Yeah.
one last thing, financial aid night. We are here to help support financial aid nights at your high schools. So if you're at all involved, or we're reaching out to counselors to let them know that we are available as PCC representatives to come out to financial aid nights there. We may be offering some here on campus. We're not sure the dates yet for those as well. And one thing to take note of, we're getting lots of questions about free community college. Those students of yours that are graduating spring and summer of 2016 will be eligible if they have a 2.5 GPA and they enroll at an Oregon community college for September or fall term of 2016. They have to enroll within 6 months of graduation or completion of their GED. So that may be something that you've got questions about. We've got information and we've got handouts for you that we can share as well. And there is a presence online right now at OregonPromise.org. OregonPromise.org. That's the Oregon website that has the information and that will have the application that opens up November 1st. So students can start applying for the sort of free community college opportunity here coming November 1st. And I think if there's not any questions, yes.
I'm going to have a lot of students asking that reading question, and I'm still confused after hearing it. So I heard they have to have a 2.5 GPA, and if they're graduating, like if I have a senior who's graduating in June of
16.
when does he have to apply? November 20?
You can apply, so the application for Oregon Promise will be available November 1st, but it will be of 2015, but it'll be open through March. We're encouraging students do it sooner rather than later. As far as applying to the college, they can apply to PCC at any point in time, but their enrollment, their registration at the college needs to be in fall 2016. And if they're a dual credit student, that's fine. They can have up to, I don't remember if it's 45 or 90 credits, something, in order to continue with this and be eligible. But feel free to call any one of us. Our contact information is there, or email us, and we'd be happy to chat with you about that as well. Okay.
And if students are applying now, if they go to the PCC application, the future-most term is summer 2016. I would say put that down. It should be rolling over to fall 2016 fairly soon here, but just keep in mind that you want to put that, because that indicates that the student is starting in the upcoming academic year, which will trigger that benefit. Yeah.
But also, if they're taking my dual credit class, we've been told to go back this week and select dual credit.
Yes.
Because we have these,
Yes. Yes. So if for your dual credit students, for the dual credit that they're going to be registering for, they must complete the high school dual credit application, and they must select the first term. I think it's only one term that comes up. It's the current term. But that's a separate process. If students after November want to apply for the Oregon Promise, want to come and apply to PCC once for planning ahead for when they graduate, they can complete another application, the credit application, but that will overwrite their dual credit application.
What happens is the system, when the student is currently as a dual credit student in the system, so let's say they are appearing in our system right now as a winter 2015 dual credit student. That student goes back to the application, submits it again as a credit student, but for summer 2016. That way, in our system, it tells us through spring of 2015, the student will be coded as dual credit, but starting in summer, they're shifting into credit student, which means that they're going to be a degree-seeking student with us.
So if I hear you right, that student reapplies that long application, will it merge correctly?
It will. Yeah, I know. It's kind of a...
It would be nice if there was a way when they're going, are you applying or reapplying?
Would be beautiful if that was the case, yes.
And you said sort of free.
Sort of free means that there's still going to be a $50 copay per term, but at PCC, how that's going to be handled is that it will be withdrawn from the award. So the student won't have to write a check or anything like that. The other thing too is that it's towards tuition costs. So anything that's above and beyond the scholarship that they receive, they can use it towards books and other things, but there may still be additional funds necessary to cover things like books and materials. The primary target of the funds is towards tuition.
Because there was a government initiative to make community college free.
Correct. Another thing to remember too with these things is the plan has been set up only for the next year. We don't know if this is going to get continuous funding beyond the 2016-2017 academic year. We hope that because this is being promoted now and as students demonstrate an interest in it, that will be an indicator to the legislature, hey, this is something that we need and that will then continue to get funded. But right now it's being piloted just, it's a one-year promise right now. Yeah.
So if I thought the award was based on the information from FAFSA, which they cannot do until January, so you're suggesting they go ahead and fill out what they can in November?
Correct. November 1st, do your application for the Oregon Promise. January 1st, they will do their FAFSA application. One thing to note about the Oregon Promise, it is open to students who do not qualify for FAFSA. So in the Oregon Promise website, there will be an alternative financial information application where students who don't qualify for the FAFSA will be able to fill out this alternative form to indicate what their level of financial need is, in addition to the Oregon Promise application. And so those students who cannot file a FAFSA can file the alternative financial aid application. We don't know what these forms look like. The state is still in the process of finishing this up. They will be available in that Oregon Promise website once it's all up and running. We also don't know if that alternative FAFSA becomes available as early as November 1st, or if it'll be something that will launch around the time that the FAFSA also launches in January. But just remember that for those students who can't do the FAFSA, they will do this alternative application instead. Yeah. That's going to be the deadline. It's following the same setup as the OSAC scholarships. Okay? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Roberto and Heidi. All right, so now for some dual credit updates. Change is good, right? It keeps us on our toes. So 2015-16 not only brought some changes to our program, it has brought some brand new changes. In addition, we have a change in emphasis for this current year, and we will also be talking today and hitting some of the highlights on FERPA, which is the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act. So brand new for this year, we have a brand new dual credit standard that the Dual Credit Oversight Committee has recently added, and it is specific to the end of course student evaluation. We have been talking out in our connections meetings throughout this last year, that this is coming because we knew it was coming. And so we're planning to roll this out this coming fall for this current year. We also have a change to the structure of our annual connections meetings this year that Jennifer will be highlighting here in a moment. And I just realized too, I didn't introduce myself, introduce everybody else. I'm Karen Jones, and I'm one of the dual credit coordinators, and Jennifer Satalino over here in the corner, she'll be coming up here in a little bit, and we'll also be having some updates. Okay. So the brand new dual credit standard, as I said, was recently added. It is entitled E1 for evaluation. And you can see this is kind of you've seen this, this picture, this image in some of the documentation that we've shared with you previously, but the very bottom area on that is the area that describes the E1 evaluation standard. And because you wouldn't be able to read it in that other format, I have put it up here for everybody to see, and I'll just read it real quickly. So E1 refers to the college or university conducts an end-of-term student course evaluation for courses offered through the dual credit program. The course evaluation is intended to influence program improvement rather than instructor evaluation. And that's something that is different than the end-of-course evaluations that occur on campus at all colleges and universities. For the dual credit purpose, we are not focusing in on instructor evaluation. You have a policy within your buildings and districts to focus on instructor evaluation. And so this particular evaluation is just focused on the course and with an emphasis on program improvement for the dual credit program. So to get ready for this rollout of evaluating our dual credit courses, we are using the same system that the college uses. It's put on by CollegeNet, and it's entitled "What Do You Think?" So when students will actually go in and click on it, it'll pop up with the "What Do You Think?" CollegeNet banner at the top. But we have pulled questions from the college's set of questions that they use throughout the district, and have also developed some specific dual credit questions, taking that emphasis off of the instructor evaluation and focusing it on the course and the program improvement. Okay, so as we're rolling this out, students will be communicated once the evaluation window is open. They will actually be getting 3 emails, I believe. So the first one is when the evaluation is open, and that will be about 4 to 6 weeks prior to the end of the class that they're in, or the term that they're in. So for fall trimester classes, your students will be getting an email in their MyPCC email around November. And then that will be open, I believe, to the middle of December. And they'll have a reminder kind of midway to log into their MyPCC, and there will be step-by-step instructions on how to access that. So they'll receive a reminder to complete, and then they'll also receive an email confirming that their evaluation has been submitted. If students are in multiple or registered for multiple classes, it may just be one high school class, but they may be registering for 3 different PCC classes. They'll have 3 separate evaluations to complete. And we really ask that you encourage students to complete these within the window, so that we are able to collect that information back and take that back and evaluate it and use it for our feedback. Instructors will also be notified via MyPCC, your PCC email, and once the evaluations are open for your classes. And we will also, our office, our dual credit office, we have scheduled reminder emails, because we like to send you reminder emails because we know you don't always check your PCC email. I'm going to take this time to make a plug to please forward your PCC email if you're not regularly checking it, to please forward that to an email account that you do check regularly. In the coming years, we're really trying to kind of move faculty and move students into utilizing their MyPCC email and using that regularly. It's going to help them when they move on to the college. So our office will be sending reminder emails out to you, and then also once the evaluation window has closed, you'll be getting an email that says your results are ready, and you'll be able to go in and look at your specific feedback for your different courses. All right, I'm going to turn it over to Jennifer, and she'll give you some more updates.
Good morning. You guys have hung in with us so far. It's just a little bit longer till lunch, I promise. I'm going to go over some of the Connections meeting changes. In the past, we have had meetings scattered throughout the year for different subject areas. And in those meetings, we've done a dual credit update, which we're doing right now, so you don't have to sit through it again. And then we've done departmental updates from our on-campus PCC staff. Today, we're kind of switching that on its head, and we are having every single Connections meeting through dual credit simultaneously this afternoon from 12:30 to 3:30. And I'm a little nervous, so hopefully it will go really, really well, and you all will just be so excited about it. The changes that we've made, we've worked with Education Northwest, which is formerly the Northwest Regional Education Laboratory, to really design a couple of hours that will increase collaboration and communication between our high school faculty and our on-campus faculty. So it's going to look a little different. We have volunteer PCC staff members who have undergone, I want to say, extensive training in how to become facilitators. But they've spent the past 5 or 6 weeks working on this. They're going to be working with you about PCC's core outcomes, and then the course content and outcomes guide for the specific classes that you as a group articulate. So we'll be really focusing in on some of those outcomes, and perhaps some of those outcomes where you might have a little challenge in your class. So if things are going really, really well and there's just one area you're not sure you're quite reaching students in the way that you intend, this will be really a time to chat about that and to try to come up with some solutions. So we're going to have both high school and on-campus faculty. That has not changed. Today is just the beginning. Our Spanish PLC, can our Spanish faculty stand up? I just want to show that you survived last year and you're still here. There's 6 of them. They're not going to stand. There's Allison. She's standing up. So she went through this last year. She's obviously still here. And today, all of you will be doing the same thing except for Spanish. They have moved on to the second step, and Allison and her fellow faculty have submitted grading rubrics, student assessments, and some student work, and they're going to compare and collaborate on how to grade that today in 3 hours or less. It'll be really fun. But so at the end of this session last spring, our Spanish faculty said, this is great, but we want to do, where do we do now? You've led us to the well, and now we want to drink. So just be aware that there is another step to this, and you'll get to do it soon. If you look at your name tag, on the bottom of your name tag, there'll be a couple of letters and a couple of numbers, such as SS101, trying to think, AM125, ST101. That's the building code and the room number that you'll be in today. When you come out of here, we'll have lunch, and your buildings are all going to be off to the left. We have sandwich boards and signs to get you there. So, and if you get lost, follow the herd or find somebody from Dual Credit, and we will very happily point you in the right direction. I keep hitting the keyboard with my gut, and I can't seem to quite get to the space bar. All right, so sorry about that. Probably too much information. I know that several of our facilitators have checked in and wanted to be present this morning, so if you all could stand up. I think we have, I see Beth back there. Is Beth the only one here? Okay. Everybody else is too shy to come, but Beth is so enthusiastic about this process. She's here all day. They are PCC faculty members. They were nominated by their division deans, and then they said yes. So they have gone through training, and they've been really practicing, very excited for this day. They are not going to be in the subject areas that they teach. So there has been a little bit of anxiety about this. Beth was very concerned. She didn't know anything about welding. And I said, that's okay, you're not supposed to. They're not here to be the experts because that's what you are. You are the experts in your subject areas. They are here to be your facilitators and your guides. So if you start using industry jargon and they give you a blank look, just cut them some slack. But we're really, really excited. We had 24 wonderful faculty step up and complete the training and agree to be here today. So thank you. Beth, I'm thanking you specifically because you're here representing everyone. So, yay! All right, Karen's got a couple process changes for us, and then we get to talk about FERPA. It's going to be so exciting.
Okay, changes and enhancements. So we've had some changes that we've made in the ways we are processing new dual credit articulation requests. In addition, we're in the process of making some significant enhancements to the process overall, which we are really excited about, and we can't wait. It's coming this spring and sooner. And we'll also have some staffing changes that we will be updating you on. And sorry. So as far as changes to the approval process, we implemented a May 15th deadline last year. Many of you may be recognizing that. Maybe you don't remember that. But we are starting early this year, getting that information out to you so you know that May 15th is our deadline for any new articulation requests, whether you are a brand new teacher with a new course at a new high school, or whether you are an actively articulating dual credit teacher for 25 years. And you want to add a course to your articulation agreement. We have a May 15th deadline for you to submit your documentation, whether that's your instructor or your instructor documentation, your resume, your transcripts, or your syllabus. We do need to have communication from you so we can get you on our list, so we can be tracking you and working as efficiently and effectively as possible with our department faculty liaisons and our division deans to move through the process, because we know that there's been a lot of lag, a lot of delay, a lot of things flying around, and it's really difficult to streamline things when you've got so many things going on. So hopefully this will help us. All right, and then we also have tried to phase in the syllabus templates. I'm not going to say try because that's a bad word apparently. We have phased in the syllabus templates, and we are rolling those out this year. So if you are getting emails back from us saying, we need you to put the syllabus in a template format, that's why. Because we're not trying anymore, we're doing it. And so with these templates, if you don't have access to one, or you realize that your syllabus, oh, this is in the old form, just contact our office and we will send you a specific dual credit syllabus, whether it's for Automotive 101 or Welding 111 or Writing 121. We have the syllabus template and we can just shoot that back to you. You copy and paste your information, your high school information into it. It's already pre-populated with the college requirements. And I know there's some departments like math and some other CG, the SEAT counseling and guidance, they have specific templates already, so we've modified those things for you. And then the syllabus deadline. Did everybody get the email that I sent out last week about October 1st? About a third of you responded. So the other 2/3 of you, send in your syllabi. Okay? Question? If it was for this current year, yeah, you're fine. You're fine. Yep, if you submitted it last May, as long as it says 2015-16 and it is your current syllabus, you're good to go. Sent to dualcredit@pcc.edu. Okay, and then another change, which we've been working on communicating out to schools and districts, is the change in the way that you are reimbursed. This year, reimbursements will be coming, for the high school faculty, will be coming directly from your district and your school district for your sub-costs or for a stipend if you're attending a dual credit event that's not part of your normal contracted time, okay? And your school districts, your administrators, all have been communicated about that. So they're on the same page. Okay, then our enhancements to our program. We have been working for over a year to acquire access to dualenroll.com. This is our bright, shiny light at the end of the tunnel. This is going to be our lifesaver for our dual credit program. It is an online database tracking system that will be able to handle all of the intake. Like right now, we're just kind of piecemealing out to you as you indicate that you want to articulate a new class. This will actually be kind of a one-stop for all of our dual credit. If you're a new instructor, you're going to follow the instructions on how to access it. You'll create a profile. If you already have a profile, you'll just jump in and you'll be able to upload your documentation right there. We'll be able to see it. The deans will be able to access it. The faculty liaisons will be able to access it, and it's going to be a wonderful thing. That is coming. We've been working hours and hours and hours on getting all of our systems and processes into this new system, and so that should be coming. We're really hoping that we're going to be able to unveil that in time for May 15th. So we'll be communicating more about that as we have more information to share. Joe?
Will the PCC faculty also post their syllabi and their
Not through dualenroll.com, but we will, we know that we've got some, this new process will help us be able to manage the wiki space, the dual credit spaces page, or some other tool that we can be able to share those, kind of do those sharing cross.
Sometimes it feels one direction, like we give.
Yeah.
It's synchronized, but it's like a wall. We can't see.
Dualenroll.com is going to be our friend, and it will help us get to that point. Okay? All right. Jen is next.
And we're going to be really, really quick. I have some new staff to welcome. So Marianne, you're right in the front row. You please stand up. And she's very short, so I want you to really look hard. This is Marianne Villanueva. She's our new senior office assistant. Marianne now takes the prize for having the longest name in the office. I'm very happy to give that up. She comes to us from the Cascade campus, where she worked with the Student Leadership Program. And Brandy, I'm looking, do I see you here? Brandy Pagan, many of you met Brandy when you checked in today. She has transitioned from being a work-study student in our office. She's absolutely invaluable and is now in a temporary position as one of our office assistants. So because we have some new folks, we do need to say goodbye to some old folks. So Amanda Middleton, will you stand up? Stand up, very blonde back here. Many of you worked with Amanda last year. She was our office assistant. She is here today as an articulating high school instructor. Yay! And we're really happy to have her back. Jacqueline Proper had been with our office for 13 years. And she is on a developmental opportunity with the Arts and English Division at Rock Creek. So she's away from us until June, and Marianne is backfilling for her. So we're really excited for her, but it was very sad for us. And then lastly, I'm Jen Satalino, and my name is up there. Today is my last day at Dual Credit, and why I thought it would be a wonderful day to end on our annual event, I'm not really sure what I was thinking. But I will be opening a College Access Center on our Sylvania campus on Monday. So you haven't seen or heard the last of me. Unless you want to see and hear the last of me, then you don't have to see me again. Our emphasis for last year, or for this year, is collaboration, especially collaboration between high school faculty and our on-campus faculty. We're working to make that a better relationship. By doing everything today, it frees up our time as dual credit coordinators to then work with your buildings and your districts to collaborate more fully. So you'll be seeing Karen, especially, in a lot of your buildings, meeting with your administration. And just to kind of remind you, last year our emphasis was student access to PCC resources. So if you feel, or if you are new, that you really didn't get enough of that emphasis, please find us and we will definitely talk you through that again. Just some really quick numbers. Last year, you served 6,722 students. They earned over 42,000 credits and saved almost $4 million in tuition. If you were a scholarship program, you would be the second largest scholarship program in the state of Oregon, second only to the Ford Family Foundation based in Roseburg. So please, just give yourselves a hand. That's amazing, amazing work. We had 27 more students last year than the year before. Yes, thank you, Roberto. 27% more. And we had a 47% increase over 2 years. So the hard work that you're doing is really paying off. We are serving many more students thanks to your efforts. And this one kind of boggled my mind. In 2 years, we have had just a raw number increase of 54% additional faculty. This doesn't take into account the national attrition that occurs due to retirements or moves. So if we just took a nose count 2 years ago versus a nose count today, we're up by 54% as far as the number of high school faculty who are articulating, which is why Karen's really looking forward to dualenroll.com. So now I'm going to turn it over to Jared Forel. He is from our registrar's office. He is our FERPA expert, and he is going to make sure that we all keep on the right side of the law. So he's kind of like Sheriff Jared today. So pay careful attention so he doesn't have to come find you.
Thank you, Jennifer, and dual credit staff for inviting the registrar's office out here to talk FERPA, and thank you, all of you dual credit instructors, for being here to listen to this and take FERPA back with you to your classes. In the interest of time, I'm not going to bog you down with the heavy details of FERPA. We have a few minutes here, so I'm going to hit the basics on what FERPA is, how it applies to you in your classrooms, and the folks here at PCC who can help you navigate that with your students. So ignore most of the text. FERPA is the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act. And it's a law that was set forth, it's a federal law, that all institutions that receive any kind of federal aid, it applies to. And essentially what it does is it protects students, their records, and it creates a privacy for that student as a PCC member. Now, I want to go back to our keynote speaker, and he talked about 2 masters. I was able to relate that to FERPA and how it might apply to you, because there are 2 operating factors here where you have your K-12 and how you handle records there, but there's also the college level and how PCC interprets and applies FERPA to their students. So some of the policies and procedures that are built into this training are specific to us and specific to higher ed as well. I've bolded out some pieces. That's what I'm going to hit on in this short amount of time we have. But essentially, FERPA protects the education records of any student who has ever enrolled at PCC. So that would be any current or former student. So for you, it belongs to your dual credit students, not the parents. That's the key. And it's regardless of the student's age. So you may have students who, well, you probably do have students who are under the age of 18. The FERPA rights belong to those students regardless of age, and they belong to them, not their family, not their parents. And this requires you as dual credit instructors with PCC to not disclose information without the student's written consent. So if you have concerned parents, family members, whoever it might be, that record is protected, and unless we have something on file and we can send something out, I think Jennifer is what we'll want to do with some details on how you can go about accessing that or who you can contact to get that information. But essentially, don't share college records for your students with anyone besides that student. So don't post records of their college grades that they're earning, their assignments. Don't disclose to parents via email or phone call. And as I mentioned earlier, MyPCC, that is a very strong tool to use. It helps protect records by maintaining that confidentiality between you and the student. They have to securely log in, username and password, you as well. So that's a great way to communicate information with your students. I see a question here. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything, and then if we have time for questions, we'll take those. Otherwise, we can connect outside of this, and I'm happy to answer any FERPA questions you might have. So school official, that's you guys as partners with PCC. Education records, those are any records maintained by the college in any kind of format, electronic, paper, handwritten, printed, and you can share records with those who have an educational interest or need to know. So sharing records with dual credit, sharing records with our office if we come seeking anything in regards to appeals or whatever it may be. Directory information, this is something you may have heard as college students yourselves, or if you've operated with any other institutions. PCC does not actually have any directory information. So that means we can't even disclose whether this individual is a student, whether they are declared for a certain program, whatever it might be. That information is confidential, so no student information can be released without that student's written consent. How can you make sure that you're complying with FERPA? Access only the records you need to know, which is straightforward for you and your individual classrooms. Handle your student information in a secure way, so don't store all of your dual credit history on a thumb drive and then accidentally lose that thumb drive or misplace it. Keep information on laptops password protected, so if that laptop gets stolen, you don't have a wealth of student information available to the public. Do things just be smart about how you handle these records, and especially the PCC student records. Lastly, what I want to say is work closely with your dual credit staff. They can work with us, or you can also work directly with us. I'll give you some contact information. If you run into FERPA scenarios where you're not quite sure what to do, if you have parents that are coming to you and seeking information, whatever it might be, work closely with us. We're here, we're partners. We want to help you, help the students, and don't let FERPA scare you. I know Jennifer said some things that maybe sound intimidating. It's not. It's if you aren't blatantly breaching FERPA, you're in a good place. So just be aware of this, and handle records securely. Work with our office. We're happy to help, and happy to help you navigate FERPA and how it applies to you as PCC faculty. So with that, do we have time for questions, or do we gotta head out to lunch?
I think we're good for a question or two, because I know it's confusing.
One question, and then we'll see where we're at.
So I heard you say, the word assignments, such as that's covered by PCC's version of FERPA, and that we should not disclose assignment information to anyone other than their students, unless we have their students' consent to share with their parent. Because I teach a dual credit class where I put my assignments, as I'm directed by my boss, into progress reports like every 4 weeks. And students can log on and see their assignments, but also we have a parent. The parent goes on and sees the student's assignments. So I'm guessing what I have to do is to each of my students, give them a little piece of paper that says, PCC blah, 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 permission, so if they sign it, I just keep that on file.
So the way to think about this is on ParentView or whatever system that you're using, you're disclosing the grades for your high school class, right?
What it is if you have a child in my class and you want to see your child's assignments, you can see them.
Because it is your high school class. But what you're not doing is you're not explicitly stating, this is the grade that my student is earning in the PCC class. Because it is possible to have both high school students who are in dual credit and not in dual credit in the same class. So as long as what you're doing is posting up the assignments for your high school class, you are in the clear. You have a white hat on, you're a good cowboy. Sheriff Jared will not come after you. So, does that make sense to you? Okay.
And one more question, was it a follow-up?
Well, I guess my thing is like, if I have assignment 1 that all the kids do, but some of them are getting credit for it or not, and as long as I can say this is a PCC credit part, I can still put it in ParentView, it's just assignment 1, as long as it's not designated for PCC credit, even though at the end of the year it will be.
So I think Jennifer's answer to that question is going to be the same, is going to apply the same to this. So it's not just not disclosing that they're a student, but maintaining that record as confidential. So if there's anyone else that would have access to that, students or parents, without written consent from that student, we wouldn't want to share that particular information. All right, so I'm sure there's lots of questions, and I didn't cover nearly everything that FERPA applies to, but last thing is, let me slide through all these slides. We have direct contact information at Portland Community College, 971-722-7713. That's my phone number, and I'm happy to answer any of these FERPA questions and maybe specifics as it relates to your particular class. As well, we have an email address, that's pccregistrar@pcc.edu, and I'm happy to answer any questions if you can articulate those via email. That's probably the most efficient way to communicate with our office when it comes to FERPA. So thank you all for your time. I'm going to hand it back over to dual credit, and hopefully we don't have to talk again this year.